Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride.
Hello, everyone. Laughing, wondering if Felicia will be making an appearance. Fuck you. You gotta stop. This is why we do the intro, because YouTube Daddy doesn't like it when I swear within the first like 8 seconds. So that's why we do the intro, so that I don't get into problems. Anyways, so I attempted, you can't tell at all because my hair looks like literally a wet dog or like somebody fucked it up. But mere moments ago, my hair looked so much better. Oh, here's the thing. When you have hair like mine, which is to say extremely straight, even wearing, I wore these overnight curls for hours and I blow dried it and it was still wet and gray as fuck, as we can see, and hasn't held anything. And here's the even better part, right? Against my better judgment, because Felicia's right here. Come here, Felicia, say hi. Here's Felicia. Felicia's right here, right? I was going for Felicia style hair, and girl, your hair's blonde, my hair's gray, but we both got the same. Anyways, so against my better judgment, after having washed my hair, made it all nice, I just fucking doused it in hairspray. So it's useless. It doesn't look good. And it's covered in fucking hairspray. Felicia, back off, please. It depresses me to look at my hair. I'm just going to say that. It really does. For some reason, it's the gray. I know what it is, but it just is depressing. It's even more noticeable though when I put the bottom to the top. Oh, what if I sit like this? Like I'm on a ride. I'm on a ride. The ride of life. Meh. I appreciate it. I do. I feel hot. I felt hotter like literally 5 minutes ago when these were curled. That's ridiculous. My sister laughs at me because my sister is a hairdresser and she knows like my hair is super duper thin, super duper fine, super duper absolutely like just not very easy to style. But it's long as fuck, you'd think, right? Like, look, there's one, no, a little bit of a curl, a little bit of a curl, a little bit of a curl. Mama Llama's getting in the shower, washing her hair. I love it. Oh, I knew that was going to be a bad idea. I banked on it. Honestly, I don't know why I thought Felicia was just going to like transmit her style to my hair and I was just going to be A-okay. I'm wearing pants. If we're looking for positives in this scenario, I'm wearing jeans even. Oh God, please don't be a hole in my jeans as I do that. Checking. Okay. Also, I would like to really thank the person who left me a comment on one of my videos recently that said that I was incredibly generic. Really? Find me the rest of the generic Paisleys, please. I would like to see them. Hilarious in a way, I guess, but I hear the door. I hear the door. Uh-oh, never a good sign. Anywho, we have some court to watch today. We're gonna start with, who are we? Let's start with Bronwyn.
First, we're calling Matthew Pagan versus
her
Kimberly
voice.
Tackett and Kara Shannon Knierim.
Once again, the court is recalling this matter. It's scheduled for a pretrial conference. It's being conducted via Zoom. Since we went on the record, the guardian of the defendant mother, Shannon Knierim, has appeared. Mr. Walker, your recommendation, can you maybe reference Ms. Knierim? Maybe underneath Ms. Tackett's name on the entitlement, it's saying that guardian Shannon Knierim appeared.
I can do that, Your Honor. I will submit a updated recommendation.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Knierim. Okay, I don't know if there's a different time zone in Texas. You, Mayor said from 1:30, you zoomed in just as we were ready to conclude.
I apologize for that. There is a time difference and we're having power issues down here in the state.
Okay. I know there are a lot of storms. Your relationship with Kimberly Tackett, are you sisters?
Yeah, we're direct sisters.
Okay. And of course, the court is aware that you've been appointed by the Lake County. You're appointed guardian of your sister by, is it Lake County or Wayne County? Was it, I believe, Wayne County?
Wayne
Yeah.
County, Judge.
Okay. I meant also present this afternoon is the plaintiff father, Matthew Pagan, and his attorney, Millicent.
Matthew Pagan. I thought he said Matthew Hagan, and I thought, are we getting Inception here? A referee within a court series? Oh my god. I'm so excited to have Felicia's curly hair today. Drunk Bieber! You're so sweet. One of a kind. Generic is honestly not something I've often been accused of being. So it was just a little bit hilarious to me, in fact. Most of the time, people don't get my sense of humor or they don't get it and they sort of fucking like leave because of that. So to have somebody say I'm so generic, I'm like, bud, you are at home here. If I am generic to you, you have found your people. Okay? Come and hang out. Because right, MB? Like if somebody thinks I'm generic, they have found their people. Come and hang out here, peeps. Because if this is what you're used to all day long, you're gonna have a good time. Also, side note, I have very good hearing, tiny ears, good hearing. I just checked my door because I heard it beep. You know, the beep. Nobody came in. Somebody beeped the door. Now I'm a little freaked out. So I got an eye on it. I know you can't tell, but I got one eye over here through this tiny sliver. Okay. Also, you went to a bougie Ralph's. First of all, I don't know what Ralph's is. You'll have to relay that to a Canadian reference. To convert that to a Canadian reference. Oh, you fucking creep framing all night. Kroger. Ralph's is a grocery store chain owned by Kroger. We don't have Kroger either. But I'm getting the sense it's big. It's a conglomerate. It has head offices. I bet our Canadian Kroger equivalent would be called the Real Canadian Superstore, and all of their brands. It's a family-owned company. What is that guy's name? Galen Weston. That's his name. He's in the commercials. And they have a brand that Americans seem to love, which is called No Name Brand. And everything looks very apocalyptic. So everything's sold in yellow, like literally bright yellow cans, bright yellow boxes, and it just says the generic, like the name that it is. We're talking generic. So it would be like potato chips and just a yellow contain. If you just look up, is it No Frills or No Name? I think it's No Name Brand. It's not bad. It's just a generic that they own. But they own a lot of the grocery market in Canada, the Weston family, and they're very well off, extremely well off. People got real pissed about that during the pandemic because they're like, hold on, this dude particularly is making a lot of money. Anyways, but like the Superstore, which is what we would call it, the Superstore, but it's called the Real Canadian Superstore. And I always thought that was because there was an American one, but I guess it's just a Canadian name. Yeah. Like, is Kroger expensive? If you're ranking grocery stores in terms of price with Erewhon up here, where nobody shops, if you shop at Erewhon, we got to talk. And then down at the bottom, you've got Dollar General. Or would Aldi? I think Aldi would be below that. Kroger's in the middle. Okay. Below Erewhon. Yeah, I imagine. Everything's below Erewhon. We have a Whole Foods here. I actually looked at getting a job there just for the discount. Seriously, that's how expensive cheese is. I was like, I need to find a job where I can get a discount on cheese. And funny enough, though, Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, though, right? So here, there's a lot of wealthy people that live in my town because it's just an expensive place to live. So there are a lot of people that are wealthy, but I remember saying, like, because the Walmart and the Whole Foods are right in the same plaza. And I go to Walmart all the time because I didn't used to like to. I used to like to shop at a local store, but it's just too much different. Too high priced now. So I go to Walmart, and but the Whole Foods I have to walk past the Whole Foods to get to the Walmart. And I remember arguing with somebody. I said, "You're crazy shopping at Whole Foods. Are you nuts? How do you afford that?" And they went off on this whole diet, like the whole thing about how Amazon owns it now and it's actually really cheap and you can get really good deals. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel out of place a little bit in the Whole Foods. And also, there's a lot of organic places around here to begin with. So that's not like amazing to me. There's lots of organic produce available. But I did walk in there the other day because I wanted to check the price on lettuce when I was going to Walmart. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to walk by anyways, I may as well check the price here. And the lettuce was more expensive at Whole Foods, obviously. But they did have samples of food out, like mango, like fruit. They had fresh fruit cut up. So I had some mango and did a little price shopping. And the mango was good. I mean, I wasn't going to pay $3 for the mango, but I'm glad I got to taste it. Anyways, let's continue on with this. My daughter, one thing my daughter really does love at Whole Foods is they have like macaroni and cheese, but it's like $22 for a thing of mac and cheese. Now, at the price of cheese, you cannot make mac and cheese for that cheap, that good, but it kills me when she asks me for it because I'm like, oh, yes, I love you so much. And I will buy things for you that I would never buy for myself. I will eat ramen so you can eat your expensive noodles.
Melhado. We have two 9-year-old girls here. The recommendation of Mr. Walker is that the plaintiff shall have sole legal physical custody of the minor children until further of the court. This is temporary without prejudice. And that parenting time between mother and the children shall continue pursuant to the Wayne County case, which is 2023-0680-NA. Further, that the Monroe County newly opened file 24-7896 DS is consolidated into this DC case. For the record, the Lake County transferred its support action to this county of Monroe since the children now reside in Monroe County. In the new Monroe County file, which contains all the pleadings from the Lake County support case, is 2024-7896. So that case will be consolidated into this DC case. And we have a parent time order in place so that Mr. Pagan can authorize medical treatment on behalf of the children if necessary, place them in school and so forth. He needs that legal authority to do those important tasks. Ms. Melhado, is your client agreeable with this recommendation? And does that address the issue?
Yes, Your Honor, we are agreeable with that recommendation regarding custody. Just for the record, Your Honor, we would respectfully object to the issue of jurisdiction.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're objecting to this court having jurisdiction? If so, would this case send back to Wayne County? Don't the children live here?
Yes, the children live here, Your Honor. If I may, there, in regard to the pending Wayne County case, there is a Court of Appeals case that indicates that when there is a pending child protective proceeding case, that that court has jurisdiction to issue orders regarding custody, but that there needs to be a separate DC case, which is what prompted us in filing the complaint in this case, Your Honor. So I wouldn't be requesting the court to dismiss this case, just simply staying this case to allow Wayne County to issue orders in custody under this case number. And the reason for that is because Ms. Tackett has a court-appointed attorney to assist her regarding custody in that case, whereas in this case, she does not have that right to an attorney. And as you can see, she probably would not be participating.
Did you serve that attorney with your pleadings?
I did serve the attorney with the pleadings. Because of his agreement with Wayne County, he is only able to practice and participate in the case in Wayne County, but he is aware of these proceedings.
Right. I don't see anything in this court file that any other parties were served. This court cannot sit on this case. We have time performance guidelines, as you're well aware, Ms. Melhado. This court needs to enter a custody order. So you can take it up with Wayne County. And again, if there's an issue about parenting time, I guess you can petition the Wayne County probate court, the Wayne County Circuit Court to address that. No, it's actually Wayne County probate. Is that correct?
The probate court deals with the legal guardianship for Ms. Tackett. Yes. I'm talking just solely regarding the custody of the children.
Okay, the court was only aware that there's a DS case. I'm sorry, there's a DS case and an NA case in Wayne County, 2 cases.
Your Honor, there's just an NA case.
Okay.
And there is a upcoming review hearing July 16th. So that is the potential date that I would request a custody hearing and request the court to enter a final custody order. So this case would not be stayed for very long if the court should do so.
Well, this is this recommendation, Mr. Walker indicates is on a temporary basis without prejudice. If in fact, Ms. Tackett's attorney has some objection to this, I mean, obviously Mr. Pagan needs to be in a position to authorize medical treatment. If the child needs to be injured over the weekend and is taken to the emergency room, he needs to have an order of custody. So this court's going to enter the order recommended by Mr. Walker, be mailed a copy. You can take it up with Wayne County if in fact they don't like this, or if the Ms. Tackett's attorney has an issue, they can take it up with Wayne County. And if you want to come back here and make this final after July 16th, you can renotice it and we can make this final. But until further order of the court, this court has authority over these children who reside in Monroe County with the plaintiff father, and this court's going to award them solely physical custody at this time on a temporary basis without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Panera, do you have any questions, concerns?
Did the mom die? Oh, fuck. That's not good. This is just Judge Braunlich, Braunlich. If you ever meet me in person, you'll learn quickly that I like to spell people's names when I meet them. Because it's how I remember them more. Also, I type Braunlich into the computer a lot going to his channel. He doesn't leave things up very long. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. This one he had up for a little bit. We have a few of his today. And then a few other courts, including a new court. Also, I want to give you guys a Fitbit update. It is barely working. It appears that it will not charge past 55%. Fucking strange. Thank you very much, Fitbit. And then secondly, it dies real fast. So at this point, I don't know. I guess it's working, but like I woke up this morning and it wasn't working. So, but then I plugged it back in and it's working again. Anyway, hashtag not a sponsor yet. Hashtag bought a lot of Fitbits, Fitbit. Hashtag give me one. I've told the story before, quickly, before we get back to it, about the time that I was seeing this guy and I worked with her. I worked with his sister and I was over at his house and it was sort of like a little on the DL for a while, on the down low, on the low down. And I was over there one night and like the next day she said to me, she's like, you were hanging out with so-and-so last night. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, I could hear you talking about your Fitbit like you always do at work. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was me. Honeybee was me. I have, Bill, I have turned it back on and off again. I hope things are going well for you. Yes. I'm trying to remember. That guy did not buy me a Fitbit, but he did buy me a KitchenAid. Thank you.
No concerns, Your Honor, other than what has been previously communicated to me by Kimberly, is that she's had no issue with custody over to Matt Pagan, that she's unable to care for the children.
Okay. And again, this order that the court's going to adopt provides that parenting time continues pursuant to that Wayne County order. So I don't know what those particulars are, but if in fact there's an issue that Mr. Pagan is not complying with that parenting time order, then the parties can address that. All right. Anything further than Ms. Mahato this afternoon?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Pagan is here in the court. I don't think we need any testimony from Mr. Pagan. The court will assume that obviously he's agreed
Okay, Iowa, I have a question for you because I posted a video on the Discord of my microwave, which is a back and forth, not a circular spinning. And it came with a metal rack that goes in it. Now, I have been taught my entire life, do not put metal in the microwave. So when I first received this microwave, I looked inside, I saw a metal rack. I said, "Are you fucking nuts?" I took it out and I've never put it back in. I have to assume that it is allowed to be in there, but I don't trust it. I don't want to be the person that lights it on fire or lights the house on fire. So, but I feel like the microwave might be more than just a microwave because of the rack. Yeah. So is the air fryer, some microwaves allow metal in them? So is the oh, maybe it's not metal. That's a good point, Dom. But my question is your new one like an air fryer where the bottom's gonna get dirty? Because my air fryer, the bottom's quite dirty. I know. Check the instructions, right? That's the name of the game. If it's a non-ferrous metal, it's okay. Oy vey. I know they have those like tiny little oven ones. See if a magnet sticks to it. I have to find it. It's in the non-working oven right now. I've put all the racks and all the trays in the oven that doesn't work.
Ms. Reagan, let me ask you, how long have the two girls been in your physical possession?
They have been with me since March 23rd of last year.
So over a year?
Yes, sir.
And you can
7
provide for their medical and emotional needs and their financial needs. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. The court will enter the adopt recommendation of Mr. Walker. Ms. Mahadi be mailed a copy, as well as you, Ms. Canarum. All right, that concludes this hearing. Thank you, Ms. Mahado. And it is an unusual case, no question, with so many courts being involved, and perhaps you can assist in sorting it out. All right, that will conclude this hearing. Everyone can zoom out. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I think that's what it is. Apparently, you know, I've never learned much about microwaves. I've always felt like this is a problem on my side. Tom, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Felicia, what do you say? Thank you, Tom. Your toaster lives in convection mode. See, I wouldn't even know how to put it into convection mode. Jim, you too. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure that you turn on gifting. Woo! Turn on gifting because Sunday is members only. And guess what? We do it every Sunday pretty much. Yay, Sir Philip. Thank you for 4 months of support. I so appreciate it. I can't believe it. I'm glad to see you. Just stand off to the side when you press start. I'm worried. There is a button. I'm going to go look at it later. Zip ties from farm store. Okay. Lurking is allowed. I get reminded at the beginning of each of my videos, remember to speak to the people who will be on the replay crew, since they actually make up a large number of viewers. Hi, replay crew. What's up? I miss you. I wish you could come hang out with us all the time. I'm assuming you can't or you don't want to. Anyways. Thank you again, you guys, for the gifts, for the support, for the love. It's amazing. a picture of the front of the microwave. I took a video of the microwave. I put it on the Discord. Everybody concurred it was odd. Courtney, is the taco stand open? Mama Llama, Felicia's here. I couldn't handle my hair being so fucking terrible. So Felicia's out. Oh, Tom, we love you too. I've been very worried about Courtney's taco stand. I'm hoping that nothing happened to the taco man. I appreciate that, Iowa. It's open. Woo! Tacos, baby. I have not decided what's for dinner tonight. I would love. Oh, it's a taco woman. God damn it, Paisley. You are misgendering people constantly. I'm still haunted by my experience at Universal Studios where I misgendered somebody, and I still think about it. I still think about it, and it fucking hurts. I like that. That's the way it should be. Or could be. Oh, 4 months, Miss Iowa. Thank you so much. You guys make sure to check out Iowa's channel as well. Critter Cam. You know, Miss Iowa, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I watch a couple channels and the people are from Iowa. And one of my favorite things to watch is they go out for like lunch a couple times a week. You guys have some pretty cool restaurants. I'm going to say it. I'm a little jealous. Mikey was talking about going to Culver's today. That is on my list. Oh, yes, Bill. Thank you. According to courts, it's not a taco person. It's a Mexican sandwich. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on to our new court. Let's try a new court. Hey? I don't know what it's about. It's first appearances. We'll learn together. Oh, get out of my face, hair. I'm going to creed frame when this happens. I sort of want bangs, but I sort of don't. Stop it. I'm not ready. You're going way too fast, dude. Apparently, this is not going to be Judge Dead Air. Judge Dead Ass, maybe. I told you it would catch frame. But here we go. Judge. The
charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. I'll let you know in your next.
Okay, let's get ourselves situated here first so that we can see what's going on. I have not watched this video nor this court. So it looks like we got Judgy up in the top left, right here. Then we have, I'm thinking defense here. Over on the other side there, prosecution. And then it looks like we got a split shot somehow in one Zoom box from the jail. I'm actually impressed at this point because I'm trying to think of the dynamics behind getting a split shot into a Zoom box, and it's not something we've seen before. And so I'm somewhat perplexed. Like, are they using an overlay or like a virtual camera? That's what I would think they'd have to do. A virtual camera that would, in fact, be two cameras. Weird. Weird. Yeah, the angle makes me feel really weird too. Like I'm sitting beside them more than usual, you know? All right, well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the Public Defender's Office, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts that surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are being recorded. In addition, there's an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there for first appearance. Please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, you can step forward to the podium. Kirsten Elpers.
Okay, what did he do? We'll play a little bit here. Is this Kristen? Did he say Kristen? What did they do? This is the question we have. I'm not going to play. I mean, I've already been going for 36 minutes. My generic ass has been going for 36 minutes already. So we won't play a full game of this. Use the fucking. You made it, Paisley. Use it. Guess the crime. But I am really liking what I'm seeing here so far. Not that. That's definitely not what I was liking. I do like all of the guesses that we have here, though. Bond and meth. Is that like a brand name? Anyways, okay. All right. No more bets. No more bets. No more bets. But insert cellulite yoga pants saying something with the gas station, and let's.
Afternoon, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
8/10/90.
Ma'am, I've got two charges today. I've got.
Hold on. I know I fucking can't keep track very well. Did she just say 1890 was her birthday? Did he just she literally say that? Oh, left a child in the car is a good guess. We're gonna go back 5 seconds. No, we're gonna go back 8 seconds.
Afternoon, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
8/10/90.
Ma'am, I've got two charges today. I've got possession of controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State any history.
Yes, Your Honor. 2018, 4 counts of possession of controlled substance. She also has possession of drug paraphernalia, operating a motor vehicle without a valid license, and failure to register a vehicle. She also has older history, driving, drug, and burglary. State request bond per the schedule.
All right. And young lady, I have an address for you on Broad Street here in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About 5 years.
Are you working these days?
Yes, I work at Taco Bell.
Okay. Set your bond on the controlled substance at $2,500. On the paraphernalia, that's a total of $2,500. You're going back to court on June 27th. Very important that you reach out to the public defender if you get out, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a high bond. And tax the shit out of
Your
her.
Honor, Marie Taylor representing Jaquesha McCullough.
Hang on a second, Ms. McCall. What's your date of birth?
Hang on a second. I know things are moving very, very fast in this court. Okay. That is a high bond for drugs. This lady just waltzed in with a lawyer bag, what can only be described as a lawyer bag, Yeah, let's see here.
9/29/99.
All right. The charge of battery being domestic in nature. Counsel, what do you want to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. McCullough has no prior criminal history. As for the facts, since only the misdemeanor is being alleged, and from review of the four corners, I think the officer has established probable cause, but I am going to ask the court for a low bond amount and for the ability for Ms. McCullough to return to the residence. The alleged victim, Mr. Badger, does not live there and does not even have authorization to be there.
He's on the list today. It won't be a problem.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right. And any criminal history state?
2 withholds, Your Honor, but no convictions.
Okay. All right. And Ms. McCullough, I have that address on Broad Street for you. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long you been there?
Over 10 years.
Are you working these days?
Yes.
Wait, wasn't the last lady on Broad Street too? Was there like a bust? That seems super weird to me.
What do you do?
Schwab Dental Institute.
Okay. Set your bond at $100. Condition is that while this charge is pending, you'll have no contact of any kind with Mr. Badger. I'm going to have you back in court on June 17th. Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Michelle Perisic. Or Michelle, date of birth?
8/25/80.
You're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I mean, I'd go for a public defender and not guilty, defending myself. You should have taped the whole video.
Okay, hang on. We're not entering pleas today. This is just an advisory. I'll appoint the public defender. Any history state?
No convictions, Your Honor. State request bond for the schedule and no contact with the victim.
All right. And
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Nope, not yet. Why don't you just hang on and let me do what I got to do, and then I'll give you a chance, okay? I get it. You're upset and you're unhappy, but you're not making it any better.
Judge. Wow, okay. This is a different pace than we're used to. Oh. Okay, that sounds yummy. Chips and salsa and a chicken quesadilla. I could eat that. I could fuck with that for dinner, for sure. She didn't even seem upset at all. She just was like, can I ask a question? No, I know you're upset. Please be quiet. That's obviously not what he said, but...
I've got an address for you on Beacon Point Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
I've lived there since 2015. I purchased the home it's a handicapped home for my disability.
All right. And does Joe live there?
Hold on, the home's handicapped? I have questions. Does she mean handicap accessible? Who has a handicapped home? Wait. Is an RV a handicapped home because it's on wheels? I have so many questions. I clicked something. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, that looks real good. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Handicapped homes, no front door. Oh, you guys.
He does, but he has other options. I don't. All of my family's dead, and my other family lives out of the state, but he has cousins here and our daughter, which he's been staying with as recent as yesterday, last week. So.
And so do you work at all?
I do. I coordinate the Arapika market and the Wikiwachi market. And I'm currently the only one paying the bills at that property. And Your Honor, that property was purchased in 2015 by my settlement for my disability that I've had for 24 years next month. It has everything I need to take.
You let me know when you're done, Michelle, so that I can do my job, but everybody else,
so
we'll all
sorry.
just wait around while you're running your gums. So we don't have anything else to do. Nobody else here wants to get their case handled. It's all about you, Michelle. So you let me know when you're finished, and then I'll do my job, and then we'll get to the rest of all the other poor souls who are sitting there waiting. Shut up!
Your Honor, I'm so sorry.
Stop interrupting! What you don't know is what you're talking about, okay? And what you're spewing at me is a bunch of meaningless nonsense. But you don't know that because you can't stay quiet long enough to hear me.
Okay, if you can't tell, I fucking did not know that was coming. I just kicked the camera. Oh, I'm sitting on these gold mines sometimes. Damn it, Paisley. You have to think about this and make a video of it. Oh my God. Hold on. We got to listen to that again. He's screaming. I can't believe this. I have to make this into a video. Oh my God. It's all about you, Michelle.
It has everything I need to take.
You let me know when you're done, Michelle, so that I can do my job. But everybody else,
so
we'll all
sorry.
just wait around while you're running your gums. So we don't have anything else to do. Nobody else here wants to get their case handled. It's all about you, Michelle. So you let me know when you're finished, and then I'll do my job, and then we'll get to the rest of all the other poor souls who are sitting there waiting. Shut up!
Your Honor, I'm so sorry.
Stop interrupting! What you don't know is what you're talking about, okay? And what you're spewing at me is a bunch of meaningless nonsense. But you don't know that because you can't stay quiet long enough to hear me. Are we good now? Are you done? Are you done? You can answer the question. If you don't participate, I'm not giving you a bond. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll set your bond at $100. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Joe. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through social media, you don't go where he lives, you don't go where he works, you don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and I find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. If you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charge against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charge, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling the case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tell you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. The law requires me to hold you at the jail today until 4 p.m. so that if he wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. The law also requires me to tell you that if he continues to stay at the home that you purchased, you'll have to stay somewhere else. It may be that he won't stay there because he has other places to go, but that's what the law says in Florida. So if you know he's not there, then...
Florida, Ed. Sounds like Florida. And yeah, the judge needs a lorazepam. Just a little pill under your tongue, Judge, and the sweet taste of no anxiety will be there shortly. I know, Jonathan, I'm going to have to fucking get on this right away. I don't even know who the judge is. I don't even know who his name, what his name is. I can't even make out what the seal is. Jesus Christ.
You can go home. If you're not sure, then you better find out before you go there. I'm going to have you back in court on the 17th of June. It's critically important for you to go see the public defender as soon as you can so that they can tell you how all of this works and what's going to happen going forward. Thank you very much. Have a seat. Michael Luke.
I don't know what to do. Like, I know we need to go on and watch the rest of this, but it reminds me of a teacher who doesn't have control of the classroom. Like, screaming will do it, but it's not exactly what he, I think, was intending. Like, I'm gonna, when I cut this up, I'm gonna go and zoom in on all the faces and see what they look like when he was screaming, because that was nuts. She wasn't that bad. We have heard way worse. Way, way worse. Is the whole thing a train wreck, Ed? Love it. Why do I have this uncanny ability to just like download court, not knowing what it is? Definitely wasn't expecting that.
Mr. Alls, how are you today? Hang on a second. Mike, what's your date of birth?
Go ahead.
January 6th, 1970.
All right. You're here on a probable cause arrest for a VOP. There is probable cause. Mr. Alls.
Is this a felony VOP? I'm understanding
Yes, sir.
it is.
Yep.
So all these arguments I was going to make for you are not going to be relevant. Having said that, what are our options on court date? We would
So
like the first one.
Rachel asked for June 27th.
Is there anything before June 27th?
Who's the judge?
Toner.
Who is it?
Toner.
It's rate 613.
Oh, that's before June 27th.
2
Yes, sir.
weeks.
If we can
All
do that.
All right, so the bond, Luke, the bond is, Mr. Luke, the bond is no bond. I can't change that. I will move you up to the 13th of June instead of the 27th. And Mr. Alls will be out to see you right away, okay?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Mr. Luke, I'll be out to see you.
We watched that during members only once, actually, and it was hilarious. It is a video that I show to non-court watching people because I really enjoy it, and it's relatable enough, like Rick and Morty make it so that people can sort of watch it, but it is a winner for sure. I'm freaking out. Could you imagine being any of the rest of the people waiting their turn? Or the lawyers?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Jamerson
Thank you,
Badger?
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Badger, date of birth?
This is the Badger guy. Holy shit. It's all full circle. It's all full circle. Courtney, I'll look up the court name. I don't even know it. I don't even know it, but I will look it up. Jesus Christ.
1992.
All right, Mr. Badger, I've got 2 counts today, aggravated battery and possession of a firearm by a felon. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD and state he has open felony, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, and Jamerson, I had an address for you on Broad Street. Is that where you were staying?
That's my girlfriend's house, but I was staying there, but I got a different address.
Okay, you working at all?
No, sir.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, in this case, on the 2 counts that are here, I'm gonna set the bond at $15,000 each. That's a total of $30,000. And the condition will be that you have no contact with Mr. Williams. However, as you're out on bond in case number 24 CF 543, job 1 when you're out on bond is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 24 CF 543. We're going to hold you without bond on that case. This case, the new one is coming back June 27th. Your old case is coming back July 19th, but the public defender is going to come see you right away. They may be able to get a bond reinstated for you in the older case, but they'll come and talk to you about that. But this one's coming back June 27th, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Timothy Brown. Afternoon, Tim. What's your date of birth?
2/12/70.
Tim, I've got 2 charges today, driving under the influence and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD and state.
Your Honor, this is going to be his 3rd DUI. He also has 2018 possession controlled substance and no motor vehicle registration.
All right, and looks like you're currently on misdemeanor probation for driving under the influence. Is that right, Tim?
Yes.
Okay. And I have an address for you on Linden Drive. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
A few years.
Are you working at all?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Okay. All right. So, Tim, on these cases, I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $10,000 on the DUI and $5,000 on the driving. That's a total of $15,000. These are coming back June 27th. I will tell you that I have in front of me right now an affidavit of violation of probation, which I'm going to sign this afternoon. That's going to be a VOP warrant on the misdemeanor. The bond on that will be no bond. If you spend money bonding out on these new charges, you're going to get rearrested within the next couple of days and be back in jail without bond, but that is your decision, all right? The new charges will be back on the 27th of June. If you do get out, very important to go see the public defender. If you don't get out, they're going to come see you at the jail, all right?
All right.
Thank you. Tony Chauncey?
Sir.
Morning, Tony. Date of birth?
8/19/78.
Tony, you're here on a writ to bodily attachment out of Baker County. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge up there determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $470. If you can get the $470 to the jail, you can get out of jail here and go to Baker County and try to get this sorted. If you don't have the $470, then you're going to have to go to Baker County to deal with this. In that case, I would give them 5 days to come pick you up. If that's what's going to happen and you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll figure out what's going on, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Loto Dai. Good afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
3/6/70.
Sir, I have 2 charges today. I have a battery being domestic in nature and a child abuse. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender, Steve.
Your Honor, it's very old, but for the record, 2005 arson. State request bond for the schedule, no contact with the victim, no contact with minors.
So, sir, I have an address for you on Palmdale Road. Is that where you live?
Yes.
And that's where Faram and Jaden live as well?
Yes.
Are you working these days?
Yes.
What do you do for a job?
Machinist.
Okay.
He's what? He does what?
Sir, I'll set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. Condition of the bond, however, is that you'll have no contact with your wife or her son while these charges are pending. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
I also have to hold you till 4 o'clock so that if one or both of them wanted to serve you with an injunction, we'd know where to find you. As far as the home you were sharing, as long as they stay there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay while the charge is pending. You can go by one time to collect your things, but to do that, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll arrange a time for a deputy to meet you there so you can get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on June 27th. It's very important that you come to the courthouse and see the public defender before that date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Michael Laguna? Afternoon, Michael. Date of birth?
10/13/1992.
Michael, you're here on a violation of probation warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt, so he found probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender?
I'll appoint the PD. He set your bond at no bond. Unfortunately, I can't change that. I'll send you back to see the judge on May 30th, and the public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yep.
Kyle Mandez. Good afternoon, Kyle. Date of birth?
August 10th, 2001.
August, I have, Kyle, I have a warrant for you out of Orange County. The judge in Orange County found probable cause for 2 counts. One is written threats, the other is sexual cyber stalking. And that judge set your...
What? Sexual cyber stalking? What the fuck, dude? I mean, like, we don't fucking kink shame, but, what is that? That doesn't sound consensual. Consent. Consent. I consent. We need consent. Jesus Christ. Oh. You know what? I heard somebody the other day and they said cheese and crackers. Oh, hacking us a webcam and watching them naked. Do you know how fucking disappointed somebody would have to be when they would hack my webcam? I find that funny. Interesting. Okay, let's listen. Let's listen.
Bond and no bond. I have no authority to change that, unfortunately. We're going to let Orange County know that you're here and ready to go. I'm going to give them 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5 days, then they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the problem is, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Nelson Munoz de Jesus.
Honestly, what I am impressed with is that there is a crime to charge him with. In most jurisdictions, what we find is that the criminal activity that is perpetuated on the internet sometimes is ahead of any charges to be laid because they may not exist yet. Again, I'd like to point out to everybody that there are ample places on the internet as an adult that you can go and do almost anything that you want without it being illegal. It might cost you money, but you can do it. And so when people commit crimes to do these things, it just makes me think that you're not lazy though, because crimes are hard to commit. It's like, why don't you just redirect? Can we just redirect some of the energy here? You know?
Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
March 9, 1972.
So the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State any history.
Only 2010, withhold DV bat, say request no contact, and bond for the schedule.
All right. And so, sir, I have an address for you on Ceylon Drive. Is that where you live?
Yep.
How long have you lived there?
Like 5, 6 years.
And does your son live with you?
Yep.
Are you working these days?
He?
Are you working? Do you have a job, sir?
Yeah, me have a job.
What do you do?
Hold on. Are you telling me that there's no porn in Texas, or just that you have to sign up and age verify, like in North Carolina? Also, that's weird.
Over.
Okay. We're gonna set your bond at $100, Nelson, but condition is that you'll have no contact with your son while the charge is pending. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he living with me. It's my house, so I don't know.
I know it's your house, but the law requires me to order you not to have contact, and if your son stays at the house, you'll have to find someplace else to stay. If your son goes away and finds someplace else to go, you can go back. I'm not telling you you can't have contact with your house. I'm telling you you can't have contact with your son, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Also gonna hold you till 4 p.m. I'll have you back in court on June 17th. Very important that you come to the courthouse in Brooksville and visit with the public defender before your court date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Go on.
Joseph Oliver? Afternoon, Joe, date of birth?
September 29th, 1959.
All right, Joe, I've got.
Okay, oldest so far, 1959. Also, do you notice how the judge shortens everybody's name? Judge nickname. He reads their real name, Joseph, blah, 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 and then, hey, Joe, Timothy, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Tim. I find that's interesting. Very interesting. Also, do they restrict erotica, like words, like stories? I don't really watch a lot of porn. I read porn. Maybe TMI.
Two issues today. First one is a warrant signed by Judge Barbie. He found probable cause for a trespass, and I have a new charge of trespass. State Attorney's Office has said if you'd like to resolve these cases today, you could plead no contest to each. If you did that, I would sentence you to time served, and these would be done today. Is that something you're interested in?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering pleas in these cases, you have a right to have trial by jury, right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 24 MM 1589, and as to the new charge of trespass, so it's 2 counts of trespass, how do you wish to plead?
I don't picture anything in my mind, Ed. I still do my life. I don't ever have any pictures in my mind. But I never knew that was weird. So I love reading. I've been reading my whole life. Just because I don't picture things doesn't mean like I don't enjoy reading. I love reading. And in fact, I read very quickly. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I don't picture anything in my head. I'm just reading. It's also why I see spelling errors immediately, because again, I'm only looking at words. There's nothing ever in my brain while I'm reading. I also think maybe that is why I like reading porn, but I don't know. I mostly, never mind. We don't have to talk about that. That's a late night show.
You can plead no contest, Joe. That means you're not fighting the charge. Did you want to plead no contest?
Okay, can I ask one question?
Sure.
What property is this they're talking about?
The one in the warrant is property of Operation PAR located in Cass Circle. And on the arrest affidavit, it is Winn-Dixie.
Okay, thank you.
You still want to enter the plea?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll accept your pleas, find they were freely and voluntarily made. In both cases, I'll adjudicate you guilty. In both cases, I'll sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served. In the older case, the warrant case, there'll be cost of incarceration and a fine and court costs of $550, and the new one costs $550. But that takes care of both cases, Joe. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. As Sean Sicklesteel?
Yeah,
How'd I do?
you did pretty good, actually.
Sean, what's your date of birth?
June 20th, 1996.
All right, Sean, I got 2 charges today. I've got possession of controlled substance and driving under the influence. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You can hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD.
And
Hang on a second, Sean.
what was the possession of a controlled substance?
The controlled substance is fentanyl.
Fentanyl?
Yeah, and I'll say, before you say another word, Sean, I will tell you that you may think you had one thing and you had something else. Unfortunately,
Yeah, you know what else, John? You are lucky you have a dick, though, because this judge was a dick to that lady when she did the exact. She was actually less rude than you. I have to hope he actually took one. I know he didn't, but this is stark difference to how he's treating this guy versus her.
now, almost every controlled substance that you might find on the street has fentanyl in it, whether you know it or not. And when we test it and it's got fentanyl, then you get charged with fentanyl. So
Make that make sense, Judge. If that was the case, wouldn't you also be finding another substance? That's not how it fucking works. Absolutely, fentanyl is mixed into street drugs all over the place. I'm not disputing that. But the blanket fear statements that they put out like that, like every drug has fentanyl in it, and we've charged you with fentanyl. Well, what is the other drug? That doesn't make fucking sense. All the other drugs are cool now because fentanyl exists? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
that's how that happens. State any history?
No convictions, Your Honor. So you request bond for the schedule?
All right. And Sean, I have an address for you on Denny Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
On and off, past 10 years.
Okay. You working at all?
I was recently let go from Rivera Sporting Kitchens and Bar.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond, Sean, at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $2,000. I'll have you back in court June 27th. If you get out, it's very important that you go see the public defender, okay?
All right, yes,
Thank
sir.
you. And George Hernandez?
24 CT 347.
Your Honor, Dylan Vizquera on behalf of Mr. Hernandez. He wanted to resolve this case today. The state's on board with it, Judge. Pursuant to plea negotiations with the state, adjudication of guilt, time served. He's got 10 days in as of today, and costs, fees, and fines, Judge.
What's the charge?
Driving while license suspended, Judge.
George, you understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 24 CT 347 asks the charge that you drove knowing your license had been suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it was freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days, credit for 10 days. Finding court costs is $450, $100 for the public defender's office and your cost of incarceration. Do you have other things pending, Dylan?
I don't believe so, Judge.
All right,
He
if
has
there's nothing
detailed
else-
appeared, and I think this is
If
all
there's
he's
nothing
got.
else keeping you in jail, George, you'll be released today, all right?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck.
And just like that, end of the video. Holy shit. Okay, we'll watch one more case before. No, I didn't edit shit. I swear to God. None of it. We'll watch one more case. We already did that one, so we gotta do this one.
matter, people of the state of Michigan versus Charles Orrin Hughes II, file number 16
clip. Oh, you guys are funny. It's Judge Remote Control. Yes, sir. And he rocks this courtroom better than some camera people on YouTube, my channel, who I kicked the camera in craziness earlier when that judge was yelling. I don't do well being yelled at. I don't back down. I would have been in jail a lot longer had he talked to me like that. I would not have been able to keep the derision, and the only thing that might have saved me is the distance from the camera to the table, like to the computer to the judge. But if you had a high def version or an in-person version of Paisley and you yelled at her and then you said, "Are you done?" Oh, no, Paisley would not be done. And I know it's not good. Like, I get that that's not good. I don't know why it rises up in me. But it just didn't seem fair. He didn't treat anybody else like that. That was just fucking uncalled for, all of it. And it, again, didn't make him look good. And maybe it made him feel good. I guess it made him feel good, but I don't know. All right, let's watch this one. And then we'll see. And then that's it. Then I gotta go make that into a video and put it out. I think he did make her cry. Oh, is that the title? Judge screams, all caps, at defendant. She cries. Maybe that would do it.
(6034) This time of day set for hearing. Appearing in the courtroom is prosecuting attorney Timothy J. Rakowski. Appearing on behalf of Charles Orrin Hughes II is attorney Andrew R. Lockhart. Also in the courtroom, excuse me, is the probation officer, and we also have an individual via the Zoom application. Sir, can we have your name, please?
Mine?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Charles Orrin Hughes II.
Thank you.
Let's just bask in the glory that is Charles' court outfit. Once I did a video titled, "You chose to wear this to court." It did not do well. Hi, Wahoo. This judge, he is literally changing camera angles more than this YouTube channel. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes was brought to the court based upon a motion, affidavit, and bench warrant that was prepared by retired probation officer Todd Kloska, requesting a bench warrant in this matter, requesting Mr. Hughes be arrested.
Hold on, did he just say retired? I'm sorry. Anywhere I've been, when you retire, you don't really get to do requests anymore. Like, oh, hey, Jim, what are you doing here? I thought you retired like a while back. Yeah, I just want to get this guy arrested. So I'm writing the judge. Like, what? What about his new probation officer? Why is that not the person that's doing this? I'm fucking baffled at this point, unless the crossover time is like weeks. And even still, like, I don't get
it. And brought to the court relative to allegations of a probation violation. The alleged allegation, or the allegation is that Mr. Hughes violated condition number 3 of his probation, which states he's to make a truthful report to the probation officer monthly or as often as the probation officer may require. It's further alleged that Mr. Hughes failed to report as directed to the Huron County Probation Office back on December 18, 2018, or any other date during the month of December. And
but do retired probation officers do that, MB? I'm positive he said that this was by the parole or probation officer retired. Judges, I understand. That I get. But the probation officer? Well, why wouldn't you just be like a part-timer? You wouldn't be retired. I mean, who's paying him to do the paperwork?
Mr. Klaska had authorized this back. This was filed back on December 19, 2024. To advise Mr. Hughes in this matter, Mr. Hughes, you are entitled to a full probation violation hearing must be shown by a preponderance of the evidence. In other words, more likely than not, you violated the terms and conditions of your probation. You're entitled to the assistance of counsel. That's why Mr. Lockhart is here to represent you in this matter. And you have the right to deny the allegations in this matter. You have the right to present witnesses. You have the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses against you. And you also have the right to remain silent. I also have to warn you that if you are found guilty or plead guilty, the maximum sentence the court could impose would be up to 3 years in prison minus any time you served to date. Mr. Hughes, do you understand that, sir?
Yeah.
Very well. Mr. Lockhart, have you had an opportunity to speak with your client regarding this?
Your Honor, I have.
And how do you wish to proceed, sir?
He does wish to accept responsibility for that.
Very well, thank you. Mr. Hughes, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. You are, again, Charles Orrin Hughes II, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you are on probation to this court, are you not?
Yeah.
And is it true that one of the conditions of your probation requires you to report to the probation agent at least monthly or such times and places the agent may require?
Yes, sir.
And is it also true that you failed to report back on December 18 of 2018 or any time thereafter?
Yes, sir.
And is there a reason why you didn't appear or even make contact with the probation officer?
I had been homeless for 3 years. Well, from about that date, I was homeless for 3 years. So I moved up by the bridge, got a house, full-time job, and now I'm back. So I was trying to get my life straight up north and, find a home for my wife and daughter.
Very well. Is anyone, so do you plead then guilty to violating the conditions of your probation?
Yes.
Court will accept the plea. It's done freely, it's voluntary, it's understanding and accurate. There's a sufficient factual basis. So again, Ms. Alexander appears from adult probation. Ms. Alexander, do you request a bond or how do you wish to proceed in this matter at this point?
If we could set this up for a PV report, and then as far as bond goes, requesting some sort of high cash bond, no bond due to his absconder status since 2018.
And when can we schedule the matter for sentencing?
Can we do June 24th?
Can it be any time sooner than that?
June 10th. I believe Mr. is here. I think he's on the 17th. How about June 10th?
Mr. Locker, can we proceed on June 10th?
Your Honor, twofold. First and foremost, I would ask, as far as counsel is concerned, that this be referred back to the No Act for appointment of counsel.
You're right.
As far as the 10th, that I leave in the court's discretion. Obviously, it wouldn't be me for that hearing, but
Well, at this point, we'll schedule sentencing for June 10, 2024 at 9 a.m. prior to sentencing, ordering an updated probation violation report, which should be prepared, provided to both counsel and the court at least 2 days prior to sentencing. Mr. Rakowski, do you have a position relative to bond?
Yes, we agree with Ms. Alexander from adult probation, somewhere in the area of $10,000 cash. He's been gone for 6 years. So.
Mr. Lyman.
I would leave that in the clerk's discretion.
Very good. Well, according to Mr. Hughes, considering his sworn testimony, it appears that he was trying to turn his life around, had employment, and was trying to make a new life for himself and his daughter. And that certainly goes a long way. The problem is, though, he is on probation, and he did fail to appear in this matter. And the location that he was is up north, which sounds like an incredible distance away under the circumstances, and there's radio silence. So as to bond in this matter, court is going to set a bond in the amount of $7,500 cash surety. And the conditions of bond include simply that he follow the terms of his probation as previously ordered back in 2018 or 2016, actually. Let me back up. 2016.
I'm buying a house and have a full-time job now.
I understand, sir. But the court, in this case, you've been radio silent all this time, sir. And you were discovered, and I'm not sure how you were discovered, but you were discovered. And as a result of that, the court is going to set the bond because we're not assured that you're going to return to court. And that's the reason for that bond. That'll conclude this proceeding, and we'll go off the record. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it was a little more gentle than the other judge. Could you imagine the other judge handling that? But from a woman, obviously, because at this point, it doesn't seem like he gets mad at men. Anyways, I hope that, yeah, that was sad. I apologize. I don't watch these ahead of time, obviously. But I do have to go make that screaming match into a video. Please keep an eye out. I'll do a premiere later on. We can watch it together. We'll see what funny edits I put into it. Super generic, obviously. Like, oh my God. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm sure Colin's going live soon. I heard that Mikey's back tomorrow afternoon. And then, yeah, it's Friday. Friday, getting down on Friday. All right. Remember that I love you. I am proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.